Okay, all right. So, good morning, Preetham. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. What about you? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. So, let's get started with today's interview. So, Preetham, can you help me understand your day to day activities with respect to your job profile?
I don't have any work experience or I'm not currently working anywhere. But let me tell you a bit about my background. Yeah, so I did my bachelor's in computer applications. I was interested in tech from like very young school days, and I discovered product management. Like I discovered it like while finding various careers I can choose from after uh, my degree, and I thought this role specifically resonates with me a lot because I get to do more than one thing, and I am heavily attracted towards leadership roles and everything that product management encompasses. uh, I had done a bit of development, designing, and all those bits and pieces in my project, and that kind of also gave me like trailer to what product management would be. And to like solidify my experience around this and knowledge, I went ahead and did a course with Brightigo. So yeah, that's about me.
Okay, okay, all right. Since you have mentioned that you are pretty much interested in product management and you are looking it as one of the career option or the only career option. So, what all efforts are you taking at the moment to get into the product management?
Only yeah.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, so I developed a portfolio site of mine and have created a bits and pieces of like these similar kind of works. It wouldn't be as detailed as the actual work, but it would show to the like possible recruiters or companies that I'm willing to go forward and like show them I can do those stuffs. And I have also created an portfolio of mine, irrespective of the the Brightigos one. It's completely mine, and I have also been learning about product management daily. Like I have been following all the YouTube channels, articles, and everything similar to product management. I have been like watching 10 to 20 videos a day, and yeah, it's difficult to like gather information there. But yeah, I've been researching a lot and applying to companies and like sorting out what I want and what I don't want.
Okay. Okay. So, since you are learning so many things in a day
Mhm.
or day to day activities, that's a really great thing. So, can you help me understand why any product fail according to you?
I think the number one main reason would be not listening to the users, because I've seen many products, not only digital ones but like actual hardware ones, where they can make a great product and the company skyrockets into growth. Say come 2 3 years later or 4 years later, there's change in management, and they are more focused into like profits and those things, and they completely ignore their users. And I think that's when they fail, and the competitor arises and snatches away their market share. Yeah, I think
Okay.
user empathy and listening to them is like the main reason.
Okay. So, are these only? I mean, these are the only reasons that do you think
No, it
due
would
to
be a
which?
major reason, but wouldn't be the only reason.
Okay. So, can you think about few other reasons? Suppose you are working on that product as a product manager, and suppose that product fails terribly. So, as a product manager, how will you retrospect that?
Uh, I would look at if the demand is still there. Like every product goes through ideation to end of it, right? So has the product reached the end of its life cycle, or is it just like a temporary problem? Would look into the analytics to understand if there has been uh, uh, like bump in the shares or usage of other competitors, and that's why our Like, has there been any new product launches that has affected our product, or has our like app crashed, has been crashing a lot, or it's been like the user experience on the new update is very bad and users are abandoning it, or we are we are like having any like issues around other than the like core product perspective, like any other team has been failing, or say operations have been failing and the demand is not that scalable. So yeah, those would
Okay.
be problems, but we would have to look at the analytics and the data to understand a bit more.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now my next question for you is suppose have you come across the LinkedIn endorsement feature?
Sorry, can you elaborate on that? I don't
LinkedIn
know.
endorsement. So basically, LinkedIn has this feature, endorsement feature, where
Mhm.
suppose I'm an active user on LinkedIn, and suppose I've seen your profile, and you are also from the product management. Okay, so now I want you, or you want me to endorse. I mean, about my work or about my skills. So
Right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
okay, so this is
it's
the
down
endorsement.
below, right? Yeah.
Exactly, it is there on your profile where suppose you belong to testing, software
Mhm.
testing, and since we have worked together and I feel that Pritam is really good in this particular software testing, he's really good in bug finding and defect finding, so I can go and endorse you for that particular skill set. So that's the endorsement feature is all about. Okay, so I hope the feature is pretty much clear to you. So
Yeah.
if I ask you to improve the LinkedIn endorsement feature for LinkedIn, how will you do that?
Uh, can I like have more details, like what specific metric or thing we would want to improve? Is it
Uh,
the user experience or anything else? Like what
so
specific thing?
okay, so consider user experience is one thing, and second thing, I want people to use that particular feature effectively, because right now I've seen that people are not making use of that particular feature in an efficient way. So I
Right.
want your point of view. I want to understand how will you improve it, what all different aspect that you can think. So user experience is one of the thing.
Right.
Second is the making use of that product or that feature efficiently. This is what my metrics are.
Right. So as per my knowledge, it's like at the bottom of the like whole profile, and people usually see it there. Only like very people who have detailed like point of view, they only look at that. So I think bringing it as some kind of a badge, other like badges, just like I can't compare anything else, but yeah, you could place badge icons for every endorsement you get for a skill at the top or like main section of your profile. So recruiters and other people can see that people have been commending him and recommending his or her particular skill. I think that would be one thing. The currently it's not adding any value, like it's not as and when you look at a profile, it's just generic and doesn't help much to differentiate, right? So we could bring in like how adapt the like user is on that particular skill, like percentages. So you could rate them like 80% or 90% or they are proficient. And when the recruiter or someone who's viewing your profile clicks on the badge, you get to see the exact percentage the person who has recommended you. This can also be like hidden from the actual user for like if you don't want the user to know like how much you have rated them, only the recruiter would come and see the actual percentages. So that could be a feature. And these things would work on a pop-up basis, right? Like it should be an overlay. If it is going out on a different page, it would would be irrelevant again because it would like diminish the whole functionality of the feature. So yeah, those are the like main insights I can think about.
Okay, so don't you think, suppose I am a recruiter and one of your friend or your, the connection, not friend, I would say, but the connection
Mhm.
on LinkedIn, they have rated you, someone has rated you like, 5 star. Let's count it on a scale of 1 to 5, one being lowest and five being highest. So suppose
Right.
somebody has
Mhm.
rated you one, okay? Just assume it, and one of your connection, they have rated you on a
Mhm.
scale of different star, 1, 3, 5, randomly. So as a recruiter, how will I come to know that, since you have mentioned this point that only recruiter will see the ratings or percentage, okay? that that I am feeling, or your one of your connection is feeling that,
Right.
Pritam is really great in software testing, but other connection might feel, no, he's not pretty good in that. I mean, the other side of coin. So as a recruiter, what kind of impression that, or what kind of analogy I will bring out from that particular endorsement? Again, I will ended up in a confusion, right? Should I hire you, or should I go and select your profile for software
Right.
testing,
As
right?
I said, like badges would be there. The like pop-up screen where the like stars or percentages would come across would only be visible to the recruiter screen, right? So he or she
Hmm.
can like see that like you're good at testing or say agile methodologies, and your like colleague or connection has rated you 5 stars or 3 stars. You could look at that, and if anything, what kind of recommendation they have given, and it's not generic or like I'll give a recommendation and you give me back, not those kind of things, right? Like where people exchange these things. So what recruiter can do is take that percentages, have an overview, and compare it with actual like assessment, which is available on the LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn provides assessments, right? So if you are say greater than 70% of the rest of the like candidates, and have scored 90% on the like assessment, and your recommendation shows that you have 4 stars on average, you could compare them both and get the like overview.
So again, yeah, I agree with your thought process and your approach. But suppose, let's take my example. If I have very limited set of connections on LinkedIn, okay? And since I come to know that most of the recruiters are started analyzing and checking out this endorsement feature, and this is how they are going to recruit for this particular company. Don't you think I will go ahead and extend my connections with my friend circle, and I proactively ask them, guys, please start rating me on a very good scale, though they haven't worked
Right.
with me, right? Th- this kind of things can happen. So how will
As I
you?
said, I mentioned that earlier, right? Like people would exchange the stars or ratings, right? You give me 5 stars, I'll give you 5 stars, and that's why like the assessment feature is great, right? If you really adapt on the like concepts, you would score great on the assessments. So even if the like person rates you 5 star and you don't haven't cleared an assessment or haven't even tried it, so the recruiter can easily know, right? This person is not adapt, or if he is adapt, he needs to showcase other work that showcases those things, right? So like main thing would be comparing the like assessment with the like recommendation stars.
Okay, okay, not an issue. So can you help me understand which is your favorite product and why?
Notion.
Okay, and why?
Okay. I call it a super app because it lets me do a ton of things. Like I can create docs there, unlimited pages, create wikis, right? So and like a sort of database basis, right? So I can store. Suppose say I have interest in entrepreneurship, and I can create galleries of what my companies would look like and have unlimited pages within those, or I can store like bookmarks and anything, such as like I can store my things like that. And even I can create a store my portfolio works and all those things, right? So I can share them with any people I want. Even it can be used for like job postings and such. So yeah, that's why I like the product.
Okay. And if I ask you if you, I lost your voice actually. I'm not able to hear you.
Hello. Yeah.
Preetham, can you please
Hello.
repeat? Can you please repeat
Can you
again?
hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is a lag, I guess.
Oh, well, should I start from the like, basically, right? It lets you create docs, create wikis, and it lets you store information and as and how you please, and all those things help you be more productive in your life, and that's why I like it. Like it eliminates 10 apps that do the job, and it combines all those things within one app, and yeah, it enhances my
Mhm.
productivity and like eases my life. So that's why I like the product.
Okay. And suppose you have been recruited as a product manager for Motion, right? So,
Notion, yeah.
Notion. Okay, sorry, Notion. So, in that case, what one thing, one innovative thing that you will bring out in that particular product? Can you help me understand?
Mm-hmm. I think user experience plus customizability, right? It comes under user experience, but yeah, the current user experience is very black and white or legacy type system where it's you have charcoal or white colored background options. You can't color your texts or pages, and you can't customize those well according to your wish. You have limited scope of colors you can work with. Whereas, like say Google Docs, it allows you to like customize all those colors, right, with text and other things. While putting in the images, it's not so optimized and doesn't fit so well. Sometimes it enlarges us a bit, and sometimes it gets shortened. So yeah, user experience and customizability would be the main thing I would look after. Also, the thing would be that there's a limit of 5 MB on the free plan, right? I think I would love to increase that to 10 MB so that more users could come and enroll. So the actual user base would increase, and people who actually use on a who are power users, they would definitely go into the premium plan. So I don't see why they are limiting that for file upload capability for 5 MB only. Another thing around the user experience would be the form factors, right? Currently, Notion allows only quarter of the page to the cover page or background image of the page. So I think we should be able to extend it a bit and customize as per our wish. And the texts right now have only three fonts, both in the headers and main where you can type docs, right? So three fonts doesn't people want more options, right? So I think introducing lots of fonts would be a great idea, and it wouldn't be a load on the server system as much because the font sizes are really low and it can be scalable. So yeah, these are the things I think can be improved.
Okay. So when
And
you,
one
yeah,
more thing, yeah, sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
please
think
continue.
uh, Notion supports many other apps integrations, right? You could bring in whimsical boards, or you can bring in code snippets, right? More of those would be great, and target the main major softwares or sites where, like those, so that more users could come in and collaboration would increase at the end.
Okay. So can you please brief me about code snippet? What exactly you're trying to say over here?
So you could copy and paste codes from like say Android Studio or Flutter and copy it in within the Notion app or page, and it would show. It wouldn't be just like a doc with the like exclusive three fonts, but would be kind of an image, like a screenshot, if I might say, and you can interact with those too. So
Okay.
that's code snippets. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe, if I am one of the active user and I'm looking for the code snippet, then I can simply go there and just get that data.
Add it. Yeah, add it there.
Okay,
First add it,
okay,
and you could share it with your colleagues or product manager or tester and or your
okay,
manager, and tell them to see it and get it checked, right? Rather than like sharing the whole code with them, and the user finds it difficult to edit there and look it there. So yeah.
okay. But don't you think it will be a security breach because you are somebody's, exposing the code?
No, it wouldn't be security breach because Notion, like you could share the page with specific people and give out edit options, right? So you could have like a group plan of the like specific team, and only those people would be able to access it, and anyone else wouldn't be able to even get into the main page, let alone the where the code is stored. And you could
Okay,
also use the code snippets to store. So I like actual Android Studio, all those things. The file size is great, right? And it's not visibly pleasing. So you could put in the code snippets in Notion and store it as version 3.2. We use it later. Sorry, you used it in the previous version. Say you want to use a feature, but the prioritization doesn't allow it. You store it there. After 6 months, you get to take it straight from there, copy it, and work on it right away.
okay, great. So now can you help me understand, since you have given me three features that, you're going to have it in Notion. So
Mhm.
how will you prioritize them?
Uh, I would look at impact versus value framework, right? The best impact and the value for less money, as much less money as possible, and effort, or would go with the rice framework. Both sounds plausible. So I think based on those the reach, I'll go with the rice framework. If it's okay.
Yeah, sure. But can you explain me how you're going to proceed with RISE
Hmm.
framework?
So uh, uh, so I have features, right? Three features, and I need to prioritize one. So I would
You have given me
give.
three features. Yeah, you have given
Mhm.
me three features. So how effectively you will use RISE framework to prioritize them?
Would give out scores, right, based on reach, impact, or effort value, right? Sorry, reach, impact, and value, and divide those by effort, right? So whichever has the biggest score by that framework of those three features, right? Whichever is the easier to implement and has a easy effort, and the impact is also higher, reach is also higher, and provides exceptional value to the user. Say you get 4 points on the whole rise metrics, and you could prioritize that first, right? Suppose the font feature, right, that provides the exceptional value because it allows the user more customizability, and it doesn't take much on the technical aspects, or say it doesn't have much user optimization issues, or you can easily upload those, right? As the size is less, and testing it out won't be a problem because there's already code, or what the engineer has done, right? That the fonts are already available. You just need to change it to you need to give out more options. So suppose that scores number 4, and it should, because it's the easiest and provides the most value, and I think I would prioritize that first. It would take around like a week or so in terms of technical bandwidth. So that would be the main feature I would prioritize. Uh, of the second would be allowing the cover page, right, to extend that. Like it isn't that important as the fonts, but it improves the user experience and it's also low on effort. So would complete that. And the third would be, and this is also and this is also like hypothetical. See the data and like scores the like how much the reach is out of 1 to 5, right? 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. So yeah, based on that. And third would be the color feature, as I said. Notion should allow like more than one colors and like extensive options on those, and this would help the users a lot. But isn't the like priority need for right now, as per the three features I mentioned. So yeah,
Okay, all right.
that's how I would
Uh,
prioritize, give out
oh,
them scores, and yeah.
okay, okay, I got it. So I have a next question for you. So it's basically a guesstimate. Okay. So the guesstimate is that the number of orders taken by Zomato in a day. Can you help me understand how many orders are taken by Zomato in a day?
Can I open up like whimsical or something so that I can write those things down?
Yes, sure,
Just give me a moment, right?
sure.
Just sorry, give me a moment, right?
No problem. You can use pen
And
paper also. That's absolutely fine.
okay. So can you repeat the question? It's
Yeah,
okay.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. So how many orders are taken by Zomato in a day?
I would like to clarify a few things, right? Sorry, how many orders
How many
taken by?
orders taken by Zomato, accepted by Zomato and delivered by Zomato in a day?
So these orders are the like cancellations aren't a part, right? I mean, it's obvious.
No,
So
we are
only the
not
delivery.
considering. Yes, we are. Let's narrow down the approach. I'm not talking about cancellation.
Mhm. Just like how many orders the Zomato delivers in a day, right?
Yeah, accept and
So
deliver.
as yeah, so as per my knowledge, like Zomato only operates in India, right?
Okay, let's
Right,
talk about India only. Right now,
Mhm.
haven't expand their horizon in other countries. So yeah, India.
India, right? I think I would first split the like total population of India is like 1.3 billion, right? Out of those, like only 40 to 60%, only 40% are like have a smartphone or use the internet and are technically adept on the daily basis. I think I would divide it on those parameters. So say I'll take it 50%, right? So 1.3 billion, half of that would be like 650 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of those 50 million, sorry, 650 million. Like not everyone, Zomato operates only in the like main cities, right? On or the urban population, basically like metro cities, right? And it rarely operates in like tier 2 cities. So the population breakup of 650 million with tier 1, 2, and 3 would be like tier 1 having say 30 to 40%. So taking like 30% would be a good guess. Tier 2 would have less and it would have like 10 or 20 million, but let's take 10 million for instance. And the rest like reside in rural areas or semi-urban tier 3 cities, and after that where there's not it's not the right place to for Zomato to operate. So yeah, so the 60% would be on tier 3. So like is it fine if I use a calculator?
No, you're not supposed to use calculator.
No, okay, right. My maths is sometimes weak, right? So yeah, sometimes
No
it's get
problem. No
it's
problem.
like
I just want to understand how, you can understand and solve this kind of problem. So you
right.
may proceed with your own approach. I'm not looking for the exact number. I just want to understand what is the
Mhm.
thought process.
The process, right? Yeah. So I'll take a like direct guess if it's okay with you. After this, like after the like 40% of the 650 million, uh, like 65, 130, right? 260, right? 40% of 650 is 260.
Mm-hmm.
So out of those 260 million people, not everyone uses people. Does no one almost no one orders it on the web, right? So it has to be smartphone users. So I think out of those 260 million, only like 60% would use smartphones. Hmm. So again, I'll take it 50%, 130 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we have like 130 million people who have smartphones and those things. And these are the like population from tier 1 and tier 2 cities, right? The whole India.
Okay.
Now we have other competitors too, like Uber Eats and Swiggy, right? So I don't know the exact market share percentages, but I would like allocate like 30 and 40 percentages, with Swiggy being the highest and Zomato having the 30% or 40%, and Uber Eats having the lowest share because its visibility is not that great and serviceability is also not that great. So 40% or 30% of 130, right? 26, 39, 39 million. So I would take a roundabout and make it 40 million.
You may proceed.
So the like potential users of 40 million of right 40 million of Zomato. Now I would categorize the users into three categories, right? One being the power user, second being the middle tier user or middle like average user. Power users would be those who would order more than one meals a day, or at the minimum one meals a day. So like order daily, but would like have one or two orders per week. And the ghost users would be who rarely and occasionally order, right? So say 2 times a month. So uh, out of the I would say power users consist of like 40% of the user base, because and these would come from like Taiwan cities, and the users would be like the bachelors and those kind of personas, right? So the middle tier would come from both the backgrounds, and the ghost users would have the rest 40%. as Zomato is also like struggling with like acquiring users and retaining them. So 40% sounds like a great amount. So
Okay.
yeah, the out of these like mhm. So say power users booked on an average one at the minimum one order, right? One or two orders per day. So for 40% of 40 million would be how much? 20, 16 million? If I'm guessing right.
So
16
yes,
million, right?
16 million
16 million of the power users.
okay,
Sorry,
16 million of power users are
people.
there. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, possible power users.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And 20% would be like 8 million of the middle tier users, and ghost users would like be the rest 16 million, right? So I know these numbers sounds like lot greater, and I think if we could find like the average daily active users per se of these lot and multiply those with like uh, frequency of like meals or number of meals they are not having or making, right? I think we could come into an like solutioning. So
Okay.
mhm, mm,
So what could be the
just give me a moment, right?
sure, sure, sure. Take your time.
And these are as I said, like these are the power users and middle and cost users, right? Of those, all those people wouldn't be like even though they suit the person or have concurrent orders, they wouldn't like be active all the time. Like many people would go to their natives and whatnot during the weekends, and things like those would come into play. So I would like break it down to like 20% of the whole user base. So 16 every like 40 million, like 8 million that I estimate that like total user base would be who are like active daily or like order at least even or weekly active users, so to say. Like, it can range. So these are the like concurrent users who like actively book around and aren't like not using the product much. They like so yeah, out of those 8 million, I think yeah, out of those 8 million, I think categorizing them like people who are like bachelors
Mm-hmm.
and people who are like who have family or are living like with someone else, and those people, right? Family people, yeah. So the bachelors would like hold majority shares of these, right? And like it would be around say 6 million. Yeah, so the 6 million bachelors would at least in my opinion order one meal as they like they don't have like they won't order for breakfast much because it's readily available nearby. The only place they like lunches are available in the office, and due to COVID nowadays it's not available. So that would increase the like order frequency. So lunch and dinner, I would say, are the main categories. Or the snacks can be an essential play, but these two would be the like main categories. So say suppose out of those 6 million people, they order or they don't cook for at least one time a week, right? Sorry, one time a day.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sorry.
No, no. Actually, I got your approach. Is that just that? Don't get into too much in detail user personas. I mean, I got it. You know, you have already classified the tier one cities. Okay. After that,
Okay.
just as you go deep down in user personas, your number is going to be very much troublesome for you. Okay, so just try and narrow down your approach and just come to the conclusion. And
Right.
after that, if I at all I want to know more in detail, maybe we can deep dive in that as well.
Right. Yeah. So I have the like problem in the like last section of the like rounding up the numbers, right? That's where I have problem in the guesstimates.
Okay, so we will see that how
Uh,
we can approach such kind of problems. If at all, if you can take 2 more minutes and just come to the conclusion, that will be that will be great.
mhm. So like I it wouldn't be the right thing, but I think categorizing or like saying that people who use more than 30 minutes per day, sorry, more than 15 minutes per day are like essentially would would book an like order, right, rather than people who
Uh-huh.
come in and just browse around for, yeah. So I think if we could categorize people who have like use more than 15 minutes a day that use the app and like multiply it by say number of meals are not cooked per day.
Okay.
So say yeah, people who use more than 15%, 15 minutes, right? Uh, those would be say 3 million or 2 million. I would take 2 million if it's okay. And multiplying it would with like they aren't cooking on an average, at least they are not cooking for like one meals a day, right? So they have to book via Zomato or Swiggy, and that would be like 2 million. And of the family members that I said, they are more prone to booking weekly. So usage time, if the say it's 1 million and they are going to be book only 1 meal per week, so it's like 1:7 ratio, right, between those two users. So based on that, I think the like number of orders that would be there would be 1.7 million
Okay, so 1.7 million
per
is
day
your
by
answer.
Zomato
Okay.
that is fulfilled. And so out of these 1.7 million, I think 20 to 30%, yeah, one last thing, right? Yeah, like at least 30 million of those used. So I think 1.4 would be the best and guess for this specific uh, question.
Okay, got it. So I have a couple of more questions for you. So can you help me understand how will you design a bicycle renting app for tourists? Uh,
Tourist,
yes.
let
Do
me
you
write
want
it
me to
down
repeat?
if it's okay. No, bicycle renting app for tourists, right?
Yes.
Just give me a moment.
Yeah, sure.
I can't just share my screen.
Not needed. Maybe you can use pen paper. and just try and try and explain me what exactly you are trying to convey.
So can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. So how will you design a bicycle renting app for tourists?
Ending up for tourists, right? So the like before designing, tourist is a broad term, right? Can I know the age
Mm-hmm.
of like what kind of like personas we are targeting, or what's the user demographic is? What's would be the age range, right?
So age can
Does
be.
18 to 50 sound plausible?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Sounds great.
Mm-hmm. 18 to 50. What like okay. Can I know like which cities we would target, which tires we would target, right? Because as I
Uh,
know, like it's
mhm.
difficult to provide a bicycle renting apps in like tier three cities or
Okay. So,
so. Yeah.
considering India, you can consider the highly
Mhm.
populated tourist spot. So, can you help me understand with those? Maybe we will proceed in that way.
Mhm. So I think it would cover all the like tiers, right? Even it would be remote places or normal places. So that isn't a viable option. So I
Mm-hmm.
think designing is just give me a moment, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So is it just for India or like the whole world?
Let's consider it for India.
India. Okay, so I think what the users would look for while like renting and bicycle, or the what their features would like would be say calculate the like amount rent for 1 hour or 1.1 they would like to calculate that. So tourists who are looking to like rent a bicycle are usually looking for going to places which are nearby, right? So, or have like 2 kilometer distance between some place and the actual tourist spots where the like vehicles are not allowed and those kind of things. uh, that would be an element. And then
Yeah, I think you're going in a right direction.
uh, like so the live location tracking would be an essential feature where the tourists could have an integration of Google Maps where rather than like opening the Google Maps and switching between the apps, like integration of that would be a great feature, and it would show like the estimated time based on speeds, and that should be added. Uh, the tourists could calculate like if say the total cyclable distance between two tourist spots and where the cycle is the bike renting is spot is there, right, where the shed.
Right.
So tourists could calculate that, and that can be an option. There should be an option of choosing different bikes, types of bikes, normal ones like gear or electric ones, based on people's preference and the prices. Mhm. I think those would be the main form factors, right? Three types of
Okay.
bikes, sorry, bicycles, and people can actually have an option to book it way ahead of their schedule. Say you want to go to a specific tourist spot 7 days from now, people can book specific hours where they can rent it out, or they can rent it out for the whole day as a package, and it would be less in terms of price because the overall cost, because the user is booking it in bulk, right? So if the user books it in bulk, he or she could have more discounts or reduction in prices. Uh,
Bulk as in,
yeah,
see,
anything
as a
else would be
solo,
like,
bulk as in, I don't
yeah,
understand.
yeah, they book it. So people would book on an average for 2 or 3 hours, right? And if the tourist wants to visit multiple places, and he or she shouldn't go to the is it's difficult for him to book again and again, and if the availability is there or not, right? So if he or she books for a day, and that would be considered as a bulk purchase, right? Renting it out for the whole day or whole week, if it's plausible, they could receive the reduction prices. What I was going for was, right, there should be a mechanism of authenticating the user, right? There would be a lock on the bicycle, and it would be a four numerical digit. It would be based on OTP. I would say it would be great, like or a specific number that the user can choose. It can be both. So why I say OTP is also an option, right? Because when people set their passwords and someone else sees that, right? Someone other user sees it and goes and uses the same number, right? They can unlock it and it would get charged on the user. So OTP would be a great option. So 5 minutes, or when the user gets near the cycle, the app automatically sends out an OTP, and the user can put that as an numerical into the lock key and start that day. Uh, there would be a lock stand, right? So the app would should be connected to that. So the moment the bicycle app gets out of the lock, the time is calculated, and other processes tracking the distance and time taken to going to certain places would start. uh, there should be an option of rating the bicycle or ride, so to say, because not specifically ride. I mean, there can be, because there can be issues like puncture and belts or gears not working properly, and the bicycle not being great, right? So combining those two, having letting them reviewers, so that not specifically other users can use it, but we can use it to switch out bad bicycles which we have in our inventory. So that would be an app feature. I think
Okay.
based on authentication, I think taking out an photo of that would also be a viable option with the
Okay.
specific serial code that would be plastered on the cycle. Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah, the app could authenticate based on that.
Mm-hmm.
The
So,
everything is, yeah.
no, no,
The
please complete your
yeah,
sentence.
the main screens I would look for would be the home screen, where people can track or actively see where they are riding to and the distance. And as I said, uh, there could be an option to give out recommendations, right? So people have traveled for this place, and you could recommend these, and these places are there, and where we are providing our bicycles, right? And these would serve both purposes, right? people can visit who are interested. Tourists are basically interested in touring the different places. So yeah, they wouldn't have to go around and look around the internet, and they also have like a pre-built solution of having cycles. So that recommendations page would be a great option. Search page should be an option because people can search whether there's an bicycle renting stand or a place where they can rent it out from, where they are planning to go, and if there's availability. uh, and the fourth screen would be the like user profile, right? Where user can
Okay.
edit their details and also look at previous rides they have been through.
Okay. So my last question for you for today. So how will you price this particular application?
Okay. I think using a freemium option would be a better guess because
Why
no one would
freemium?
be willing uh, not freemium or like basically free because people wouldn't want to like purchase the app and then go on and experience the like whole booking the bicycle and whatnot as per like Ola or Uber, right? You don't want to pay a
Mm-hmm.
specific amount and then get to use it, right? So freemium or basically free option for using the app, and only paying for like the total rides which would be calculated on the like per hour renting cost of the bicycle plus a bit of profit, and also add in like other expenses and other things, right? So freemium would be best. Free or freemium would be like best way to go. Why I say freemium is because you could price like have an gold tab or premium tier plan where you can give out like specific like rewards or mileage points for if they are like paying say 500 per year and they're a premium user, they are eligible for like certain points per ride. So they travel for 10 kilometers, they would get 10 points or 20 points and they can redeem those. uh, Also the like you could have special access or a priority access to like booking the premium type of cycles, right? So suppose two users are using the app and premium users would get the like get first in line to book the like premium tier of cycles and other exclusive like benefits, right? But basically the pricing the app would be most of the features should be like free, right? And only the like premium or luxurious features, right, which are not essential to the core experience, but is an add-on. I think those kind of things would be like should be in the premium and other things should be free, right? Yeah. So that's my approach.
Okay.
Thinking.
Okay. So one more question for you. So what kind of people do you like to work with, given an opportunity?
Uh, I think I can accommodate with like most of the people based on like how they are and what they are not. But I specifically like collaborative people, right? Right. So you ask them and they're open. So you ask them or share a piece of work and they're very excited and are collaborative enough to send it back after a review the same day, and like to aren't so bureaucratic or say a type of people who are like bureaucratic basically, who like extend it by like 2 to 3 days, the same amount of work which can be done in 2 hours, right? So collaborative would be one thing, and I think people who are skilled basically, and who I can understand who I can explain things and the same back, who can explain things in a simplified manner, So say I know like bit of coding, right? I did a bit of coding, but I wouldn't know everything there is to coding. So suppose a developer says that this code is best implemented in like one or two sentences. From that, which I could like derive the conclusion. I think those kind of people would be great. And other than that, I
Mhm.
can gel with like everyone else who's creative or can are good at that job, basically. Yeah.
Okay, but what if you come across some uncooperative, teammates in your team, or those who are not highly skilled, considering freshers? Okay, because I would not say they are not skilled,
Right.
but I would say if they are not experienced. So how will you deal in that situation? Because it is exactly going opposite to what you are expecting. Can you hear me?
Like user behavior.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah, yeah,
audible.
I can hear
I think
you.
there's a
I
lag.
can hear you. Okay, can you hear me now?
Just observe, right? What they are like, what their user behavior is, or why they are like that. And if it's purely out of like say some issue with personally with me or the team, and they don't like specific things about me, right? I would schedule an one-on-one meeting where during the free time, of course, where we could clarify the problems we have or why we are not like as I said about the skill part, right? People people have insights and like knowledge about things, but are can't usually like express those, right? So I would ask around if there are any hindrances to those. Suppose say the like a designer isn't designing a perfect screens as they use or personal problems they are facing or anything such as that, and would relay the same like with HR with if the person is okay with me sharing that information, and we could help with like anything relating to that. And as per the like professional capacity, I think trying to share like what kind of screens or designs I'm looking for, but not able to convert what I'm trying to say from my wireframes and the user stories, and not able to convert it into actual designs or code, right? I would share them like get one-on-one meeting with them and share my actual like vision or what my inspiration is. Say, suppose say I'll show screens from Pinterest and all those things to better relay my idea or vision. And this is like after the like daily stand-up meeting, right? Or Scrum planning, this
Okay,
thing, right? So
okay.
I would take in all measures to uh, make sure the communication and yeah, can you hear
Okay,
me?
I
You are
yeah,
muted.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can hear you. So I understood your approach. Okay. So Preetham, can you hear me properly now?
Yeah, yeah. You're
Okay.
audible.
Okay. So with this, we will conclude our today's interview. Let me give you some
Right.
quick feedback. And after that, I mean after interview, I will be sharing in detail feedback in Excel. So let's start with your first question. That was your introduction. So yeah, since you are currently, graduated, just graduated, and since you're looking for the opportunities, always, talk about the work that you have done or the achievements that you have made in your curriculum. Okay,
Right.
so let's take an example that you have a placement coordinator in this year, and you have coordinated really well, and you have achieved these many percentage of recruitment, or you have helped your recruitment team to get this
Mm-hmm.
recruitment done in a short period of time. So this is your achievement, where you have shown your leadership skills.
Right. So explaining my project would be an
Yeah,
would be
absolutely.
a
You
great
can do that.
option, right?
Yeah, you can explain your project and your achievements. Suppose you have done some freelancing project while pursuing your education, and how will you help achieve achieving your target or your vision. You can explain that, but always highlight your achievements, because everybody or your recruiter or your organization, they're always looking how how much value you can bring it to that organization. Okay,
Right.
so always be crisp, always your approach and your answer should be structured, and always trying to answer all the questions to the point.
Right.
Suppose in uh-huh. Yeah.
So I know like my introduction is lacking a bit, but I can't find a like specific approach. So highlighting my achievements would be is a great option, right? As you said.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
how will you sell yourself, how will you portray interviewer that you are good in something,
Right.
because everybody
Yeah.
has taken 10th 12th there, everybody has done their masters or or their engineerings, but how differently you have done something, that you have to portray it over here.
Okay. Can I
And
like
mhm.
sorry? Can I like showcase like things I'm interested in and like what kind of like I have specifics like keen eye for product design and user experiences, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, those kind
your
of things.
forte.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Always talk in terms of that, because suppose you are good in coding, suppose you are good in designing, and these are really essential skills when we talk about the product management, because most of the product manager, they are not aware about the technical skills or coding skills. But
Mhm.
since that is your forte and that is something you are good at, why not? Just
Yeah, like
try and emphasize. Yes.
yeah, I like also have interest in entrepreneurship, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I believe like product management would be a great pathway to that, and I have been highlighting this in like some interviews and haven't kept it short in some where the like time limit was only 30 minutes or less, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
So your introduction is something, it has to be impactful.
Hmm.
Okay, because I have seen many candidates as a interviewer. Okay,
Hmm.
I've seen many people, they just keep giving me same introduction. How differently you can bring it to my organization. Suppose if I'm hiring you as a APM. So
Right.
entrepreneurship, you can highlight if you are giving this interview for startup, but suppose you are giving this interview to MNC. Okay, I'm just giving you the mindset. Why would I hire someone who is going to have his own organization down the line?
Right.
Okay, so
And like
there is
I
a
could I
different
yeah.
uh-huh.
So I would say like entrepreneurship is like 5 years down the line. So would that be a problem with MNCs?
See, it's totally up to the person, I would say. So
Hmm.
entrepreneurship is something, I would say, let's not highlight that in the beginning. It's again, it may differ person to person, because I am from a different mindset. I always adore people who has this kind of mindset. Okay, but suppose, considering the other perspective of mine, if I am hiring a person, I and if you are a very great resource that I don't want to lose, so I'm always looking for a commitment. Okay, I'm
Right.
always looking for a commitment. Why would I hire a person who is going to leave an organization within 2 or 3 years? Why would I invest in that person? Suppose you will come here. So
Yeah,
there is a
understandable.
different mindset. I will not say that you should not highlight something, or this is right and this is wrong. I would say it's all about the mindset. You are here to learn. So always
Okay.
give a commitment that yes, I am going to stay there for a longer period of time. And that should not through your words, that should be through your uh, you know um the way you are giving your introduction, or the way you are committing, or the way you are giving the answers. Okay,
Right.
it should bring some sort of trust. Okay.
So yeah, so I could say like I love product management when I like compared all those things I saw as a career option, and I loved like all aspects of it. And I would look for a like long term like position, right, rather than staying at 6 months or 1 month at the company, and would love to work long time so that I can gain experience and learn a lot of things. And eventually, like down the line, like 5 or 10 years later, when I have like learned a lot and lot, and when I seem the opportunity is fit, I want to venture into entrepreneurship, right? Is that an like
Yeah,
great answer?
yeah, absolutely. It sounds great. Um, yes,
Or
yes.
okay, please first.
Okay, I'll proceed further. So the next question was why PM? So, you have given me a great answer that, you're working on your portfolio, you're learning every day, which is a great sign that, you're curious and you're enthusiastic person. So, along with that, I would want you to explore something more in that, why PM? Because, you're a people's person. Though you are good in technical, but you always want to explore the managerial role as well. I mean, in terms of communication, in terms of collaboration, networking, you are very good in that. So
Mm-hmm.
considering your personality, you are a good fit for this role. So that's why, you are considering a PM role. Then we talk about why product fail, or why product fails generally. Okay, so always talk in terms of pointer. You have a great
Okay.
points, you have a very good thought process, but what I have seen that, it should be structured.
Right.
Because if when you start collecting your thoughts in a whenever you are asking for a time, can I buy a time of 30 seconds just to recollect my thought? So that is the time, you can recollect your all thoughts in a constructive way, in a faster way. You should think fast. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing, but it is happening gradually. And interviewers generally don't have this much time that they can devote for you, because they have their work, they have other priorities as well. So how effectively you can convey your thoughts in a short period of time? And there is nothing right and wrong. Okay, this is your thought
Yeah.
process, but the way you convey it, the way you're conveying it in a more positive way, it matters a lot. Okay, so
Okay.
again, why product fails? So always, you greatly summarize that, a client is looking for something, but you are delivering something else. But apart from that, there are other aspects as well. In what phase the product is? Is product is in the starting phase, it is in a growing phase, it is in a maturity phase, or it is in a decline phase? So considering that phase, you can answer why any product fails. Okay, then there
Yes.
can be a marketing lag, there can be a competitor analysis that the product manager might have missed, that you can
Mm-hmm.
cover. Then let
Yeah, I think I mentioned that, right? The
yes,
competitive
you have mentioned
other
competitor.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, you have mentioned about competitors, and that's a very great thought. Okay, but I mean, just take this feedback positively. You're doing
No, I am.
good.
Please keep the like feedback raw. Right? I am writing all the things you are mentioning right now.
Yeah. So you have covered quite a good points, but the things I want you to improve, and that will be cherry on the top, cherry on the cake. Okay, if
Yeah,
you
totally
can give those
understandable.
yeah, if you can give those answers, maybe I can get that understanding that yes, this is the person who is not 100% perfect, and even I'm not looking for a person with 100% you know mindset, but at least he can try. If he can try so much, if I mean, if he can think fast in just a given in a 30 minutes, if I'm giving him a 1 or 2 days time span, how fantastic he can work on this particular project. So you are just
Right.
giving a hint. Okay, yes, I am a good fit for this profile. Got it?
Right. Yeah.
Then comes the product improvement. Okay, so whenever you are come across such kind of questions, like how will you improve any particular product, or how will if I ask you to improve any particular product or feature, so always remember, you should always talk in terms of its usefulness. Suppose Notion is completely new to me,
Mm-hmm.
so always start explaining what exactly the Notion is, what exactly it is doing. Okay, so give some background about that particular product or feature, then talk about its usefulness. How is
Right.
product is really useful and it is currently solving the key pain points? Is that product is efficient enough? Is it solving the issues in a quicker with a less efforts? And how innovative that product is? Is that product solving the user problem in a something different way, in a smarter way? So
Right.
that's what you should always look forward to, and just try and summarize your answers around these points. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Then whenever I'm asking you about how will you improve any particular product considering Notion, so always start giving your points around the user. I mean, how you can increase the user engagement, because at the end you are working on the product revenue, right?
Yeah.
And the suggestions that generally any product manager can give, it should always come around. I mean, it is generally coming around the UI or user experience, and which are pretty much easy and simple. You can fix it in a 1 or 2 days. But as a product
Right.
manager, you should always think from the functionality perspective, not from the UI perspective first. UI has to be there, okay? But it it always come on a second priority. What is important for me is functionality or UI.
Mm-hmm.
Functionality,
Functionality
right?
means.
Functionality is giving me the revenue, and UI is like a second priority for me, which a button or the color or font, I can fix it any point of time. So always, structure your process or answers it through this way. Then you have given a very great approach when it comes to the prioritization, that is impact versus value. And you have also given the RISE framework, so I'm really impressed with that. So that's a great.
Thank
Then guesstimate. So you started really well, you started asking the clarifying questions and everything, but don't loop yourself in unnecessary calculations. So suppose if I ask you, you have taken example of there is a population of 1.3 billion people, and now you are going to divide 50% of that. So just start your calculations and just start in a bits and pieces. So first you started with clarifying questions. Just ask all your clarifying questions in one go in the first
you.
chunk of the interview or the first phase of interview. So like the demographic, or are we targeting to Indian citizens, or are we targeting to tier 1 cities? So these are your clarifying questions. So now you got the sufficient data. Let's move on and start assumption. Like I am assuming for 1.3 billion people who are actively sorry, I'm considering the 1.3 billion population in India.
Mm-hmm.
Now not all the population resides in urban, so I'm considering
Right.
urban population as 30%. So 30% of 1.3 billion. So always try to take up you can call it as even number. Don't take odd number, okay? This is my suggestion to you. So 1.2 billion is pretty much easy to calculate, right? Considering 1.3 or 1.5.
Sorry, what? I lost you there for a bit.
Okay. So
One point.
always take a even numbers when you are
Yeah. Right. Right.
calculating. Okay, don't go for odd numbers, okay? So 30% of 1.2 billion is like around, it comes somewhere around 360 or 370 billion people, 70
Mm-hmm.
million people. Okay. So now you have understood that urban population, and now you're targeting purely urban population. So start clarifying that to your interviewer. Have a communication. So see, I'm not going to target a rural people. I'm just totally assuming the urban population. Why am I assuming the urban population? Because they are techno savvy. They have internet facility. They know how to operate the mobile. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
in urban population, there again comes the class: upper class, lower class, middle class people. So considering that, how many people are occasionally ordering the food? So you can have those numbers. So let's say upper middle class people are from that 100%, there are 20% fall under upper middle class, 50% fall under middle class, and 30% fall under lower middle class. So this is how you narrow down your approach. You have taken top down approach. Getting it? So from
Right.
where we have started and now we are reaching towards our solution. Because in a short period of time, how can you consider a specific user personas like a bachelor's or a family? No, you can't consider that. That will be, you are thinking in on a very granular level. And whenever you are going on a granular level, you are putting yourself in a trouble.
Yeah.
Because from urban population, if I'm jumping directly to the people on a bachelor or a family, there is a gap. How will I come to know how many people are fall in between the urban population and the bachelor, the urban population and the family? You're getting it?
Yeah. So I'm making it difficult for myself.
Yes, yes, yes. So, always go in bits and pieces, step by step. Okay. Now, let me quickly give you some feedback on the design application whenever we are thinking about design anything. So, travel app. I am designing an application for bicycles. So, always start with the demographic. So, that you have already started with, but don't target age group. Age group is not my concern. Geography is my concern. Okay.
Right.
So whenever I'm targeting a geography, so in that case, my first clarifying question should be the geographic region. Second uh, is it a normal bicycle or the e-bicycle? Because I am going
Right.
to because I have to consider a driving license fact also. Because
Mm-hmm.
if in India there is driving license is not required, but considering the European region, they they might require some driving license for bicycle as well. Okay.
Right.
And there is always the speed limit also. For bicycle, if I'm going beyond 500 or 600 watt power, I will require driving license. But if I'm designing my bicycle or bicycle app, below that, may not require a driving license. So these are some legal perspective that I'm thinking right in the beginning.
Right.
Then there might be some user personas, tourists, travel guides, solo traveler, family, that I'm considering over here. Then comes the needs of user or needs of tourist. Why tourist will go for the this particular bicycle app? To look at a bike, to get in a bare minimum charges, to travel safely. Then they would require a native language. Considering in India, we have a multi-language, multilingual people. So
Mm-hmm.
all these factors, you should always, focus on needs rather than giving a solution. Getting it?
Right.
Then what kind of people would you like to work with? So always, whenever you are giving a behavioral questions or answers, always talk in terms of positive note. Because you are a product manager. You don't know how what kind of people that you're going to work with.
Yeah.
It can be a fresher, it can be a less skill, it can be a the skills or highly experienced people or highly skilled people. So considering yourself as a product manager, you should always flexible enough to work with any kind of person. And if person is uncooperative or not very much helping you out, then there are always a way out. You can talk to a person in on a casual note, on a coffee break or on a lunch break. Then that way you can understand the people, and that's how you can tackle the problem. So I think overall you're good, your approach is really good. It's just that your approach should be constructive and structured. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Right.
For I'm looking forward in terms of improvement. So Preetham, considering time, I would like to let me stop the recording.